Hey everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines, better known as the one-hand mechanic. If I can do it, you can too. Today we have here a Troy-Bilt Storm 2600. This is a two-stage 26-inch path self-propelled snow thrower, and today, in my opinion, I'm going to show you how to start and operate it. And at the end, I'm going to also show you a tip on storing the machine. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you get your machine is don't believe that somebody actually checked your oil. And I do have to apologize for the background noise. It's my heater. Okay, so you're going to come over to your engine. Your gas tank is here. You have your oil fill and your oil dipstick right here. And if you look closer to your engine, it does tell you what kind of oil they recommend. 5W30. We're going to go ahead and check the oil. Pull the dipstick out. Do not just look at it. Make sure you wipe it off. And then we have two little dots. We have a low and a high. Just make sure it's... I like to have it right on the top of the high, but if it's in the middle, now this one is right at the top dot, which is nice. It's fresh oil. Just make sure it's in between the dots. Since we're on this side, we have the electric starter here. This is the starter. This is where you plug it in, and this is where you push the button to start it. Right here is your 3-prong plug. You're gonna put your extension cord in here. I always recommend that the size of the extension cord should be at least this thick, if not thicker, and try to stay below 20 feet. I think this is like a 16 gauge. You can go down to a 14 gauge. The lower the number, the thicker the cord, and that'll give you extra length if you need it, but if you can do it near the house, 20 feet or less, you're good to go. As far as gasoline, highly recommend using non-ethanol fuel if you can get it. Unfortunately, in our area, we cannot get non-ethanol fuel easily. If you can get non-ethanol fuel, that actually will help the machine in the long run. As far as starting it, we have two different ways we can start it: pull cord and electric starter. Electric starter is definitely the way to go, especially in cold conditions. It'll crank the engine over faster and allow you to start it very quickly that way when it's cold. Once the engine's warmed up, you should be able to start it very easily with the pull cord. We're going to have all the controls over here. Okay, so this particular engine is a newer style engine. This is actually a 208cc. It's a 270-XU engine. It's roughly about a 5.5 to 7 horsepower, but roughly I would say it's about a 6.5 horsepower engine, 6 horsepower, somewhere around there. There's no throttle. Don't like that, but that's just the way they're going. I just rather warm up my machine. In real cold temperatures, when you start it, this may hunt up and down until it gets warmed up, and you may have to compensate with this right here as the choke. It's a little hard to understand this sometimes if you're unaware of how these emblems work. So this is in the off position. I would highly suggest using silver magic marker or something to put off here. And then on this side, when you put it all the way over to the left, that will be on, and that's choke closed. This is your on and off key, and this has to be in or the machine will not start. And when you want to stop the machine, you just pull the key out. I would suggest drilling a hole. You can drill a hole through the center of this very easily and put yourself a piece of cord, I use pull rope, any kind of rope that you can actually just attach to your handlebar here or up in the handlebar, and then it can, if this falls out, it'll just dangle down, you won't lose it. But that's how you stop your machine. This is the primer. And in normal conditions, when it's snowing outside, you're probably going to prime this 2 or 3 times. You're going to have the choke in the on position, which it is, and then you're going to give the pull cord a couple pulls. It should start within 3 to 4 pulls. If it doesn't start, you can try the electric starter. We're going to do this second, but we're going to try to go ahead and start it with the pull cord. We're inside, so it's probably going to be just fine. 1, 2 primes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for starting it with the pull cord. It started right up. As soon as it starts, you're going to go ahead and take the choke off. If you take the choke off and it starts to go hunting up and down, surging, you can go ahead and put the choke on a little bit and leave it there until it warms up, but make sure you take the choke all the way off. And if you're compensating for it to run smooth with a half choke while you're blowing snow like the whole entire day, then you probably have a carburetor issue. I have several videos on how to rebuild these carburetors and take them apart. So if you need that, I have that. I'll put that in the link in the description below. We're going to go ahead and, while we're over here, this is a 16 gauge extension cord. This is a male connector. It's going to go into your 3-prong plug here. Just going to wiggle it in. Don't wiggle too much because you can break off these little tangs in there. You don't want to do that. Just plug it in, We're going to go ahead and put the choke on, but we're not going to prime it because we probably don't need it. You should only need to hold this button in for maybe a second or two, if that. Okay, so you got to be careful. You saw me wiggling a little bit, but don't wiggle up and down too much because you can break off, especially the ground plug right here. I've seen that break off a lot. Let's go up to the controls. Okay, so a couple things right here. These are shear pin holders, and they come with the clips right there. It's really nice to put your shear pins here. We're going to go around to the front and I'll show you that. As far as the handles here, you have, this is your drive handle for your wheels, and this is your auger drive right here. When you're about ready to blow snow, engage your auger handle. I highly recommend keeping this auger handle engaged all the time if you can. Now, granted, when you're turning this, now this is shoot left and shoot right. This is a nice feature with this bar because I like the fact that it's not a cable. I really don't like anything with cables. They have the old style or even other styles with cables. I don't like that. The cables never work out. This is your tilt for your shoot. Forward and backward, pretty straightforward. Okay, so going back to the handles there, always have your auger handle down because that will allow it to blow the snow out and get it all, like if there's any chance of it clogging is when you let go of your augers. If your augers are spinning all the time, they will never get clogged normally, okay? As long as your belts are adjusted properly, and I do have a video on how to adjust this belt tension, and I'll put that in the link description below. This one is your drive handle, and that's the one you're going to be letting up every time you want to turn. But I normally try to just keep my arm hand on this lever all the way down at all times. And if you do want to lift it up for any reason, make sure there's no snow coming out of the chute, and then you'll know it's empty. When you hold your drive handle down, you should be able to leave your left hand up, which is your auger handle, and it should stay locked in. Now that allows you to control your other controls, like going, shoot up and down, left and right. A little bit harder for me, but that's how that works. If you want your augers to let up, you just have to let up on your drive handle just a little bit, and then it'll pop up like that. All right, so if you have your drive handle down, just remember, whenever you hold the auger handle down and let go of the auger handle, it's going to stay locked in while your hand is on your drive handle. So you release them both, and then that'll release them both. Like I said, I always try to keep my hand down on my augers just to make sure that everything is coming out and everything is clear. As far as transmission goes, it's a little hard to see the selector gears here, but you have 2 reverse and you have 6 forward speeds. So you're just going to move your transmission when you do not have your hand on the handle for the drive. You go up to 6 for fast, then you have your 2 reverses. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to pull it back into the reverse gears, but that's all of them. It's just the way it is sometimes. So I'm going to take you around to the front of the machine. I'm going to show you the augers and where these shear pins go. Okay, I got a couple products here. Spraying silicone spray in and around your chute, inside the throat, up here where the 2 stage is, back in the back here, and do this before you blow the snow. Do it while it's dry, while it's not wet, okay? And you do this every time you go out. It'll help the snow come in and go out very quickly. It's any kind of silicone spray. I use the WD-40 brand. In fact, as long as you're using a good silicone spray, you should be good to go. Also, I want to get to this, but the Aspen 4 is a fuel that I highly recommend. I'll put a link in the description so you can read about it. This is for anybody who doesn't want to do the end of the year servicing on their carburetor and they put the machine away and forget about it. This stuff will last in the machine up to 2 years without any problems, and it'll stay fresh in the bottle up to 5 years. It's 92 octane, there is no ethanol in it, and it just has the capability of staying fresh. It's an alkylate fuel, and this stuff stays fresh for a long time. If you own this machine brand new and you've never dealt with a small engine before, the biggest problem that you usually have with snow blowers is they sit too long and the carburetors will not work properly due to gas going bad inside them from sitting. So you're going to have to do a couple different things. I'm just going to show you in a minute what to do to drain your fuel out of your tank, and we'll go from there. But right now, I'm going to show you that the auger shear pins that were up on the handle, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here, and one here. And this machine actually has the newer style augers that are actually made to cut through ice. Not sure exactly how they're working out for everybody. If anybody has one of these, let me know. If it's definitely making a difference in the ice as far as cutting through the ice. If you want to find out if your shear pins are sheared, when the machine is off, just get your hand on each auger and then rock them back and forth. And if they spin freely, then you know you have a shear pin that's broke. You just have to line up the holes. You know, sometimes you have to push the old one out that's sheared, push the new one in, put the clip on it, and away you go. Let's go around to the carburetor now, and I'm going to show you how to drain the carburetor for storage purposes. Okay, so underneath this cover here, where your primer is, all right, it's right where your carburetor is right here. There's 2 bolts on these carburetors. You have a bolt on the bottom, and then you have a bolt on the side. This bolt on the side is designed so you can drain the carburetor bowl when it's not in use. And if you have problems with it starting, I would also suggest draining this carburetor bowl, flushing the fuel out from the tank, and that may actually fix your no-start conditions. I do have a really good video, or 2 of them actually, that I can put in the link in the descriptions below to get you guys running. I have every link that you can think of to get your machine running if it doesn't want to start. Your spark plug is right here if you need to change your spark plug out. But as far as draining this carburetor bowl, what you want to do is, when you know you're ready to put it away for the summertime, you want to suck the fuel out of your gas tank and get it as low as you can get it, and then run the machine until it's dry. And it's never dry once the gas tank is empty, because you have a little bit in the carburetor bowl. Or once the engine stops, you want to go ahead and unbolt this, let the rest of it drain out. In fact, I would suggest just taking the bolt out for a few minutes, letting it drain, shake the engine around a little bit, shake your machine. Just make sure you get every little teeny bit of gas out of this thing that you possibly can. Put this back in, tighten it up, and you should be good to go for the season. Come next year, definitely try to use a non-ethanol gas if you can get it. If not, then the Aspen 4 is definitely a way to go, and that'll eliminate having any kind of carburetor problems in the future. So that pretty much wraps it up for how to start and operate, in my opinion, a Troy-Bilt Storm 2600. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.